Once, a furious storm swept through a village, forcing people to seek safety from its relentless fury. The disciples of Buddha gathered near him, trembling and worried about the chaos unleashed by nature. "Master," I said, my voice trembling, "I feel trapped, as if my efforts lead nowhere." Yielding no progress, Buddha looked at me, his eyes reflecting the infinite depth of still waters untouched by turmoil. "Tell me," he said softly, his voice soothing as a gentle breeze. "What troubles you when you say you feel stagnant?" "I strive, I toil," I began. "Yet each step forward feels hollow, leaving me unchanged, anchored in uncertainty." Buddha nodded, his expression thoughtful, his silence urging me to continue, to spill the burdens of my heart. "My life feels like a wheel turning endlessly," I said, "a circle with no direction, devoid of meaning or purpose." Buddha extended his hand and gestured to the ground, drawing my attention to a small cluster of lotus flowers. "Do you see the lotus?" he asked, his voice calm, each word laced with unshakable clarity and kindness. I hesitated, gazing at the flowers standing tall, their vibrant petals untouched by the mud below them. "Yes, Master," I replied, "I see the lotus, its beauty undiminished, though it grows amidst mud and murky waters. The secret to remaining calm lies not in resisting the storm but allowing it to pass without attachment," Buddha said. The disciples listened intently, the wisdom of their master beginning to resonate deeply within their hearts. "Its roots cling to the mud, which sustains its growth." I listened intently as he continued, his words weaving a tapestry of meaning that reached into my soul. "The mud beneath the lotus is not its enemy," he said. "It is the source of its radiant existence. Likewise, the struggles and doubts you face are not hindrances," he said, "but vital nourishment for your spirit." His words stirred something within me, a flicker of light amidst the shadows that clouded my weary heart. "But Master," I said, my voice tinged with doubt, "how can pain and frustration lead to anything but despair?" Buddha leaned forward slightly, his movements deliberate, his gaze steady as he sought to illuminate my uncertainty. "Consider this," he said. "Each drop of rain carries the potential to nourish life or erode the earth beneath. The same is true of struggle," he said. "It can either break you or shape you, depending on your perspective." As they walked, an angry farmer approached Buddha, shouting furiously and accusing him of leading others astray with false wisdom. "You deceive the youth, ruining their hard-earned respect for tradition," the farmer yelled, his face flushed with anger and frustration. "First, embrace the journey," he said. "Do not fixate on destinations, for they are mere illusions, fleeting and transient. The steps you take, even those mired in difficulty, are the essence of your journey," he added, his tone unwavering. "Honor each moment," he said, "for in doing so, you transform the mundane into something sacred and meaningful." The farmer, stunned by Buddha's calm reply, found his anger dissolving as though exposed to the gentle warmth of sunlight. Buddha continued, "Anger, when held, burns the heart of its bearer more than those it is directed towards. Train your eyes to see beyond," he said, "to notice the wonders hidden in plain sight, awaiting your recognition. Observe the bird building its nest," he continued, "each twig gathered with purpose, though the nest itself is yet incomplete. The journey toward completion is where meaning resides," he said. "The process is the sacred act, not the result." I closed my eyes, allowing his words to wash over me, their truth taking root in the fertile soil of my mind. "Master," I whispered, "I want to believe in these truths. Yet doubts linger like shadows I cannot dispel. As the earth nourishes life without retaliation, so should your heart nurture wisdom without resentment," Buddha said, his words soothing. The farmer, now humbled by Buddha's wisdom, bowed and asked to learn how to calm his troubled and angry mind. Instead, welcome them as guests, for they hold the keys to growth. Only when you face your doubts with openness, he continued, can you transform them into stepping stones of wisdom. His words resonated deeply, the echoes of his teaching creating ripples of clarity within the currents of my troubled heart. Master, I said, how do I begin to embrace this perspective when my fears seem larger than my faith? Buddha tilted his head slightly, as if acknowledging the gravity of my question, his presence unwaveringly serene. Begin with stillness, he said. In silence, you will hear the truth your inner voice yearns to reveal. Through mindfulness, you will find that your fears are but shadows, powerless when illuminated by the light of awareness. I nodded, the wisdom of his words forming a bridge between the known and the unknown within my soul. Through this encounter, the disciples learned that true calmness arises not from escape but from meeting life's storms with steady compassion. Another day, another golden sunset bathed the horizon as Buddha and his disciples gathered near a tranquil forest clearing. Then take the first step. No matter how small, he said. For each step forward is an act of courage and faith. The path before you is not to be feared, he concluded. It is to be honored, for it leads to awakening. As I bowed in reverence, I felt the weight of my doubts begin to lift. Replaced by a quiet resolve, the forest seemed to echo the teachings of the Buddha. Its every sound and movement a hymn to the journey. With each step away from the Bodhi tree, I carried his wisdom within me, a flame to guide the way ahead. Another day dawned, casting soft light through the forest, where I sought Buddha once again to ease my lingering doubts. He sat by a river, its gentle flow mirroring his tranquil presence, his gaze fixed on the moving waters. Master, I said, approaching carefully, I have reflected on your teachings. Yet failures weigh heavily on my spirit and heart. Buddha turned to me, his expression calm and understanding, inviting me to speak without hesitation or fear of judgment. Each failure feels like a stone pressing against my chest, I continued, preventing me from embracing the journey. Allow them to pass. Like clouds drifting across the sky, the forest grew quieter as the disciples practiced, the rustling leaves harmonizing with their steady, gentle breaths. One disciple opened his eyes and asked, Master, what of the inner turmoil caused by regrets and past sorrows? Buddha reached out and cupped a handful of earth, allowing it to slowly fall back to the ground. Regrets and sorrows are like this earth, Buddha said. Failures are like pebbles, he said. They cause ripples in your path, but they cannot stop the flow of your life. Master, I asked, still uncertain, if failures create ripples, how can I prevent them from overwhelming me, drowning my purpose? Buddha tossed the pebble into the river, its impact creating small ripples that vanished quickly into the flowing current. The river accepts the pebble, he said, allowing it to become part of its journey, not an obstacle to its course. In the same way, he continued, you must embrace your failures, integrating them into the wisdom that shapes your growth. I nodded, attempting to absorb his words, though the weight of my self-doubt lingered like a shadow in my thoughts. Fears of the future are but shadows of imagined storms, Buddha said. Face them with clarity, grounded in what is real. He gestured to the disciples, his movements deliberate and graceful. Come, let us walk. Failure teaches humility, he continued, reminding us that perfection is an illusion and growth is the true measure of our spirit. I lowered my head, his words stirring emotions within me, a quiet mix of yearning and resistance battling in my soul. Buddha's voice softened as he said, remember, the art of remaining calm is a practice of mindfulness, patience, and self-compassion. The disciples carried these teachings in their hearts, resolved to seek the jewel within their minds through steadfast practice. Do not fear pain, he said. Pain is the river carving its path, shaping the landscape of your soul and purpose. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video. Strength lies not in the absence of fear, he said, but in the courage to take one step forward despite it. The river flows endlessly, he added. Not because it avoids obstacles, but because it moves around them, embracing its natural path. Master, I said, then I am to embrace fear as part of the journey, not as something to be vanquished entirely? Buddha nodded, his serene demeanor holding the weight of his teachings like the river holds the pebbles within its depths. Fear is a companion, he said. It challenges you, but it also reveals your resilience and the strength within your spirit. I raised my eyes to meet his gaze, feeling the calm assurance of his words anchor me amid the swirling doubts. The disciples sat once more, their fears of the future replaced by a calm presence, their minds open to the teachings of now. Buddha closed his eyes, his stillness a living testament to the wisdom he shared. As the disciples embraced the gift of the present, another day, another gathering beneath the Bodhi tree, where the disciples sought the wisdom that only Buddha could offer. Buddha's serene presence calmed their minds, though questions lingered in their hearts, waiting to be voiced. They teach patience, adaptability, and the beauty of transformation through challenge and hardship. Master, I said thoughtfully, then I must view each failure as a ripple, not as the end of my journey. Indeed, Buddha replied, each ripple guides you closer to truth, weaving a tapestry of wisdom through the waters of your life. The river flowed on, its steady rhythm echoing the teachings of the Buddha, its beauty found not in its end but its course. I bowed deeply, the weight of his teachings settling within my heart, their echoes guiding the ripples of my thoughts. He motioned towards the nearby river, its waters glittering under the morning sun. The disciples followed, curious and contemplative. He stood gazing toward the horizon, his figure serene, his presence unfaltering, like the mountains stretched endlessly before us. Master, I said, my voice steady, I have reflected on your teachings. Yet the path ahead feels unbearably long. Buddha turned to me, his eyes as tranquil as still waters, radiating patience and profound understanding of my restless heart. Tell me, he said softly, his tone gentle, what troubles you when you speak of the path feeling endless and heavy? Master, I began hesitantly, though I walk with purpose. The distant horizon beckons endlessly, leaving me weary and uncertain. Buddha gestured toward the mountains, their peaks cloaked in mist, standing silent, eternal, untouched by the passage of time. Do you see the horizon? He asked, his voice calm, each word deliberate and steeped in layers of timeless wisdom. Yes, Master, I replied, my gaze fixed on the invisible line where earth and sky seem to meet in eternity. The horizon cannot be reached, he said, for it moves with you, existing only as a guide to your path. I absorbed his words, their truth both comforting and daunting, a paradox for my searching mind to grapple with fully. Master, I asked, my voice tinged with uncertainty, then what is the purpose of walking if the destination remains elusive? Buddha smiled gently, the lines of his face reflecting peace as he prepared to untangle my doubts with his wisdom. The path itself is the purpose, he said. Each step you take holds meaning, revealing truths hidden within the journey. Master, I asked again, how do I find contentment in walking when the peaks seem infinitely far and unreachable? Buddha pointed to a wildflower nearby, its petals vibrant, swaying gently in the soft breeze, untouched by human interference. Do you see this flower? He asked, his tone unhurried, allowing the question to settle like dew on my thoughts. Yes, Master, I replied, studying the flower closely. its simple beauty captivating, its existence humble yet profound. The flower does not seek the horizon, he said. It exists fully in this moment, embracing the sunlight and the earth. Likewise, you must learn to embrace each step as the destination, he added. For therein lies the essence of life. Ananda, still pondering, asked, "But Master, how do we know which path to take when we are faced with choices?" Buddha knelt by the riverbank, scooping water into his hands. "Feel this water, Ananda. Train your mind to return to now," he said. "Through mindfulness, you anchor yourself in the beauty of each moment." "Master," I asked, my voice tinged with hope, "how do I cultivate this mindfulness to keep my spirit alive amid endless walking?" Buddha placed a hand upon my shoulder, his touch gentle yet grounding, as if transferring calm directly into my being. "Begin with gratitude," he said. "Honor the steps you have taken, for they have carried you closer to awakening. Gratitude shifts your focus," he continued, revealing the gifts hidden in the journey, unnoticed in the haste toward the horizon. I closed my eyes, allowing his words to sink into the depths of my spirit, their light illuminating my restless mind. "Master," I whispered, "I wish to embrace the journey, yet my heart longs for assurance that I am moving forward." But with patience, the water becomes calm again. The disciples sat in silence, their gazes fixed on the river, as if it held secrets they yearned to uncover. "It is revealed through the growth of your spirit and understanding within you, the traveler. Seeking horizons finds transformation," he added. "Not through reaching peaks, but through every step walked with openness and purpose." I bowed deeply, his teachings settling within me, their echoes weaving through my thoughts like streams flowing into a single river. As the mountains loomed silently ahead, I felt my heart lighten, each step infused with the beauty of the present moment. Ananda spoke softly, his voice tinged with gratitude. "Master, the river teaches us so much, yet we often fail to notice its wisdom. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you." Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.